direct claims do not have to be negative. I was on a call recently, and we had a problem with their phone bill and everything else. And so somebody else is on the line with me, and we're talking to a representative, and the other person sat down there and they blew up all over. You guys did this, you guys did that. And to be frank, they really blew it. They denied all the different things that were out there. Somehow, mysteriously, all of our 3 discounts disappeared off their system, and they doubled our bill. And so by the time we're all done, this person walks into this and they're hearing somebody ripping them upside one down the other. This person didn't do it. It was the system. It was somebody else in the process or whatever it was. So they were so emotionally charged and so negative. The other person, I could almost picture them in some other country, rearing back, who's this person? And they're trying their best to be calm and composed because they've been trained to be calm and composed in the face of this. And I said, okay, here's what happened over here. We signed up for this, and in the process, somehow this discount disappeared. Can you track down this discount? What did it happen? The other person, I says, it happened on this date over here. And the other person said, they went on. I said, so that being said, go on. I was calm, I was nice, but I was assertive in the fact that I says, you need to go back and open up the record. Can you open the record for our account? Okay, yes, I have it over here. I said, now go back. Why is it the bill was this over here? And why is it over here different than it was originally? Well, it looks like you had this discount. I said, that's the point we're trying to make. And the discount disappeared. Can you reinstate the discount? Yes. Can you go through? I said, we're supposed to receive credit for our past phones. And we have that over here. And now you're billing us for it. Can you go back to the original document that shows it? Well, yes, I see it over here now. Okay, can you fix it? I had to go through and walk the person through on a direct claim, and I didn't have to be negative in the process. I had to be clear, I had to be assertive, I had to sit down there and approach it logically because this person wasn't responsible. They're a human being on the other end of the line, prone to making decisions, prone to making mistakes like you and me. Well, actually me, maybe not you, maybe you're perfect or something else like that. If so, I certainly appreciate your thoughts about the class. Anyway, so make certain when you're going to sit or plan for direct claim, describe clearly what you want to have happen. By the time we're done with this, okay, I would like to sit down and have my discounts restored. State the remedy when it's obvious. Can you sit down there and go back and check the record as you go through? I'd like to have an explanation. Why didn't this work? Okay, in the process. Well, it looks like the computer dropped it over here where somebody sat there, maybe it was a system change. Regardless, I'm going to fix this for you. Explain your claim, tell why it's justified, provide details describing the action, and then close, end pleasantly with a goodwill statement. A lot of times, if you're dealing with some person in some other world in the process than the one you live in, you're dealing with the aspect of they're going to sit down there and say, who is this person? And they're going to put something in the file that there's the rudest, nastiest person on the planet. Put them on hold for 15 minutes more. And they sit there and they zip you next time. You don't need to sit down and be that person. You can always close out everything as you go through. And then on an action, make certain you include an end date and appropriate action as you go through. There's really 3 what we call moods in English as you go through. One is an indicative where you go through, you make factual statements. Another is an imperative. I want you to, it's a command, and it's a statement. By the way, you can do an imperative mood in English in a nice way. You can give clear, specific direction and be nice about it as you go through. And then also a subjective move. If you do this over here, you show a wish, a doubt, or anything else contrary to the fact as you go through. And then you have the imperative move, where it really is a request or command where you're giving directions, like a recipe book or an instruction manual. It's almost, you're almost giving a command, but you're just giving a direction. Tell them what to do, get often with the first word being an action line as you go through. Here's a good guideline as you go through when you're writing online reviews and complaints. Establish your credibility, because sometimes if you sit down and have a customer that's done really well or a company that's done well for you, you want to say positive things. And then, or if you want to sit down and post a negative, follow the same rules. Establish your credibility. I have purchased this product for $375. Okay, check the posting rules. Okay, are you doing something in the process? Provide a balanced bill. We tried this, didn't work, and we ended up having to do this over here, which left us really dissatisfied. Consider the reach and permanence of the post. If you say something bad about something, they can go back and retrieve that 17 years later as you go through. Don't say things that'll sit down there and reflect poorly on you sometime in the future. This is the most rotten company and everything else. And lo and behold, you get a job with that company 15 years later, and your boss goes back and says, did you really post this 17 years ago? You're fired. You don't know what's going to happen in today's world. Embrace transparency, be open about things, accept offers for help. If you would just calm down, I'll help you. Breathe in a paper bag, that might help you calm down. Okay, so just relax. Refuse payment for favorable critiques. No, you don't need to pay me for this. I enjoy doing it because you did a good job serving in the process as you go through. Okay, so direct claims don't have to be negative. You don't have to hulk out and everything else and sit down and scream and yell at people. You can deliver a negative message in a nice way. One of the few times when you use a passive voice instead of an active voice. Take care.